includes dog and auditors, dog and advisors, dog and legal, dog and finance, dog and HR solutions, dog and tech solutions, dog and media, dog and corporate secretarial. If you are interested in any of our services, please contact us for a free quote. Email info@doggin.global. Website doggin.global.
Throughout my 13 years with Teleperformance Alliance One, I have great success stories. I must say, I've started with this company as an agent. Throughout that 13 years, I've grown, moved in different areas such as a QA supervisor, assistant center manager, and currently I hold the position as a contact center manager. Thank you. I've been given various opportunities within Teleperformance. One of the greatest things for me is I have given the opportunity to help to build interaction with employees, to mold employees to be better leaders and upcoming leaders of tomorrow. Within this organization, there are great deeds towards myself in terms of building personal growth and assisting me with my family. Within my 13 years, could I ever think of where do I go from here? It's hard for me to decide. Why? Throughout this 13 years, my confidence, that self-esteem that I've built throughout the year, with support of leaders such as, of course, I will not leave out saying my direct manager, Jake Becker, and other fellow co-workers. Currently, I'm so proud wearing the latest achievement within Teleperformance is I was recently enrolled in Teleperformance University. Now, you may wonder what this is. It's the university created by the company. This exists for the past 10 years. And I'm pleased to say for 8 months ago, I was enrolled in this program. The opportunity that it allows me is I join this college. I get a chance to travel. My last travel was in Brazil. This is a big deal for me. That's 2 months ago I get to go to Brazil. I have an upcoming trip that will be in Philippines. I'm excited about that one as well. And of course, graduation in Greece. These are my dream places to visit, and so I'll say thanks to Teleperformance for that.
My name is Corrine Phillips Brown. I have over 12 years of experience in the BPO industry. I started out as a hard trainee in the accounting department. With my experience gathered in this sector and through self-study, I completed my career as a chartered accountant. I am now a member of the international body of ACCA and also the local body of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Jamaica. With my qualification and experience, I am now the finance manager of a 1,900-seat, Fortune 500 BPO company. I was instrumental in starting the accounting operation here in Jamaica. This has seen, because of the success, several other accounting jobs being migrated. In the process, we are planning to expand our shared services division. Some of my tasks as an accountant include financial statement reporting, analysis, and consolidation. My plan is to continue in this sector. I am really passionate about working in the BPO industry. Thank you.
I am the managing director for Avantmark Technologies. We were formerly Indusa Global, and we have been in the free zone for the past 2 years. But Indusa has been around for almost 20 years. Now, we are on the ground floor of Data Building 3, right on the same building with Market Track. We have 11 employees. We have 8 programmers, 3 accounting and data entry staff that are responsible for the accounting needs of 2 of our clients. All our employees are Jamaican-born, Jamaican-educated, going to University of UTEC, University of the West Indies, and NCU. Combined, all of our employees, we have over 50 years of programming experience. Though we are a small company, we have developed software applications, both web and mobile, for the health, transport, and the tourism sector for both the US, for clients in the US, as well as in the Caribbean. Currently, we're working on a logistics platform for a large freight brokerage and transportation management company in Colorado. Another project that we're currently working on is building a custom CRM system for that same logistics customer that has already improved the way this logistic client services its customers. These systems all leverage the power of cloud computing, mobile applications, and will eventually use machine learning and artificial intelligence to provide our clients with any advantage that they can in that very competitive market. What makes us different from any other software development firm? It's not that we have the best programmers. We do have some really good ones, but we can hold our own with anyone in the world. It's not that we have the best facilities. We're getting there, though. It's not that we have the best salaries. We're going to get there, though. But what we do is that we have a passion for technology. We embrace modern technology and are not afraid to implement it in solutions where we see that it provides an advantage to our clients. We are agile in our approach to work, so we can adapt quickly to changes. We believe in automation first, so we can free people to focus more on value-added tasks and building stronger customer relations for their employers. And above all, we have the best 11 people that anybody could ask for. Our small team of 11 programmers pulls together like a well-oiled machine. Finally, we don't intend to stay small forever. We may never grow to the size of some of our neighbors due to the sheer nature of our jobs, but we intend to leave a mark on this free zone where we aren't always known by the address relative to our neighbors. So for example, the door across from Unique Vacations, who have now migrated to the east side, or the building that Market Track is on, but by our work and our impact we have on the community and Jamaica. Ladies and gentlemen, I proudly represent Avantmark Technologies. Thank you.
Your business matters. Business Access TV offers you the most innovative and effective advertising solution for your business, specializing in B2B sales, cost-effective solutions, the customers you want, the repetition you need. No matter the size and nature of your company, your business matters.
Call us at 876-291-6233 or 876-376-4225. Email sales@batvja.com.
The government of Jamaica has 4 main lines of effort that lead into one main objective. And these are the sound fiscal management and financial management of the public's affairs. The second is to create and support the conditions for private sector-led growth. The third is to create meaningful employment for all Jamaicans but the broader picture is to ensure that all Jamaicans are involved in work. The fourth is to ensure the security and safety and peace of communities and households within Jamaica. And all of these lead into the ultimate objective of securing Jamaica's economic independence. I believe that if you assess the performance of the government on its lines of effort, you will come to the conclusion that the government can report significant success. For example, there is no question that the government has achieved major success in ensuring the fiscal certainty of our economy. The debt has been reduced from 141% of GDP to this year we will be just below 100% of GDP. And that is the ultimate index. But there are other things that we should measure fiscal performance on. And that is, for example, the government has seen significant investments taking place in the development of infrastructure. But a large part of that does not rely on the government's fiscal accounts. In other words, we have pursued the expansion of infrastructure and capital formation without having to rely on the budget of the government. Now, this is a perfect example. The PAJ, out of its own resources, that is the Port Authority of Jamaica, out of its own resources, have made this investment, and this investment will bring a financial windfall. Maybe windfall is too much, but certainly profit that you can use to reinvest. But the policy of the government is that all its public bodies must stand financially sound and fiscally certain on their own. And all the assets that they have, we must see to their full utilization. So all the warehouses that are empty, all the parking lots that are now volleyball and football fields, all the real estate that are unoccupied and unused, all the lands that are just growing wild bush, we must find appropriate and high value usage for them. And that strategy has worked. And I want to commend the Port Authority of Jamaica in being at the lead in fulfilling that strategy, in ensuring that our port facilities are being developed, in ensuring that our BPO facilities, those that exist, and the new ones that are being developed. And whilst this facility may be the most modern in the Port Authority's portfolio of BPO facilities, I happen to know that the work in Portmore, the Portmore, what is it called? In Informatics Park, the PIP, that will be an ultra-modern facility and will probably eclipse what is being done here. In as much as we are pushing forward to see the development of the infrastructure and supporting capital formation without call on the government budget. I mean, the government has to have some involvement, but where these things are commercial in nature, we believe that it should be the private sector or corporately operated public agencies that do them. But the government must also look at the landscape and look to the horizon, because I've often said that, the ship of state is almost like a submarine. It's under sea. It doesn't always see the big picture or the horizon, and so it has to have a periscope that looks up above the water and can see what is to come. governments have to analyze future risks. So we are making investments now, but one thing of which we are certain is that conditions will change. They can change for the better, or they can change for the worst. One thing we must ensure is that whatever the change that occurs, Jamaica is in a position to survive and be resilient. That is, be able to recover very quickly from adverse change or take advantage of opportunities that present themselves. And so the government must always be forward-looking. And in that forward-looking stance, the government must say, what are the risks that are on the horizon for our fiscal certainty? What are the risks that could cause the government to have to, for example, put on more taxes on people? What are the risks, for example, that could cause the government to incur more debt? And from now, try to avoid those risks. So our strategy of ensuring that the private sector, along with corporately run public agencies, take on the risks of developing infrastructure and capital formation, that strategy works for the people of Jamaica because it ensures that at no time will there be a call on you, the public, to pay for any eventualities that may happen, and that paying for means either higher taxes or we have to cut services.
I started out selling out of the trunk of my car.
If everybody think the same way, everybody going in the same line.
Being an entrepreneur takes everything that you've got.
Weekends? What's weekends? We work on a weekend.
There are real opportunities everywhere you look.
But you have to have the passion.
If I do my part well, then everything is okay.
We believed in ourselves and our families believed in us.
Being convinced of this great opportunity, why we are all here doing what we're doing now.
In its present state, Petrojam is a fiscal risk to the government. The truth is that after the JPS ceases to be its major customer by virtue of a decision that the government made to diversify its fuel mix to include LNG, which is a more stable fuel in terms of its commodity pricing, and probably better in the long run for Jamaica, and a more efficient fuel from an environmental perspective. We took that decision. When we took the decision, we should have also considered the other impacts of that decision, which means that Petrojam could lose, or will lose, 50% of its custom. That could mean, very well mean, that the operations of Petrojam could become a call on the government. And I use the term government, but I shouldn't, because in the consciousness of Jamaica, the Jamaican people see the government as separate from them, which is not the case. The government is just the accumulation of you. So if it is a call on the government's purse is a collection from your pocket. And that's what it is. It is going to be a call on your pocket. So I am not running a government that is under siege, not knowing what is coming in the future, as we have had governments do in the past. And then we happen upon situations. And those who are being critical of the government now should explain why it is we are happening up on situations that are creating fiscal risks for the government. This government is giving the people of Jamaica the commitment that we will not just manage the situations that exist now, but we are managing the situations to come. And you can be assured that the government I lead will always make decisions in the interest of the Jamaican people first. So you may be wondering, what's the connection? But I hope you see that the strategy of the government in doing all of this is about this line of effort in ensuring that Jamaica's government, meaning the collection of your pockets, is fiscally sound. On the line of effort of creating employment, that the government has done exceptionally well. 1.3 million Jamaicans are employed. That's the highest number since the recorded history of the statistic. Now, that's a commitment we made, and we intend to continue to push for greater employment because I believe we can reach full employment, and we are not far away from it. We recognize that training and education is a constraint on our growth and employment prospects. Kind of ironic, isn't it? But it is the truth. Our education system, its output, our socialization coming from our households, are all impacting on the rate at which we increase our employment. I have here today, of course, the chairman of HEART, Mr. Edward Gabidon, and he knows that I have been breathing down the neck of HEART to put in place an effective strategy of training persons for the BPO industry. I know that they have an effort underway, and it has made an impact. But I'm always concerned when I hear of situations that a BPO enterprise opened just a few doors down, and then the BPO enterprise that was always in existence would come to work on a Monday morning, and half its staff is gone over to the next BPO. And then they are in a quandary and a scurry trying to find replacements. We hear those stories, and the government takes it seriously. We must rapidly increase our training to support the expansion of the industry. It can't be that we have investors here and we are not supplying very quickly the quality trained workers. We have to get cracking on that in a more aggressive way. And it is not that we don't have the people. You know where they are? Some of them are in lottery scamming. Some of them are in crime. And many of them are at home sitting down doing nothing. And when you go to them, well, me can't leave my baby. Or they hide. Because I've seen the reports. We have gone into communities with programs offering people to be trained, and they refuse to take it. Why? It is clear that the policy of the government can't be just employment. The policy of the government has to be to create a culture of work. So, I want to thank you, because if you let me, I'll go on and on and on. But I want to thank you for being such a good audience and for listening. And again, let me congratulate the PAJ and the team for bringing this project to fruition. I gather now you would be above 10,600 persons employed here, and that the BPO sector in terms of its employment is now in excess of 36,000 persons, in excess of 36,000. I'm certain that before the year is out, we should be close to 40, if not passing it. My view, and I continue to maintain it, is that we could have hundreds of thousands of persons employed in the BPO sector, providing we can release the constraint of the trained labor force and build out the spaces. As it has turned out, it has been easier to build out the spaces than to relieve the constraint of employment. But I give the assurance that we are working on both. God bless you all. Happy New Year. Health, prosperity, happiness, and peace.
The Good Life, your weekly dose of information on nutrition, wellness, and fitness. Discover ways to nurture your mind, body, and spirit.
This new building brings new opportunity to Montego Bay as a city of which we are in the Caribbean, and we are the fastest developing city in the Caribbean. But this new building will mean thousands of new jobs for young people, not only from St. James, but from adjoining parishes. And wherever job opportunities are created for the multiplier effect. And it is very good for Montego Bay for us to be opening this over 60,000 square foot of space here today. The Montego Bay is known as the hospitality location in the Caribbean. We are more hospitable than any other parts of Jamaica and the Caribbean. The expatriates feel very comfortable, feel very welcome, feel very accommodative when they are here to do business, right? So it is a natural fit for us here in Montego Bay to embrace our expatriates, to embrace our local investors, and to embrace our new workers that are working in this free zone area, which the last count that I had, we have probably over 12,000 persons employed in the BPO sector in Montego Bay. And just having a discussion in another 3 to 4 years, it might be up to 15,000, 16,000. So it is growing. So Montego Bay is the place for BPO. I know it is being branched out in other areas of Jamaica, which I commend that also. But Montego Bay will be the preferred destination because we are the hospitality capital of the Caribbean. We in St. James, we are ahead of the rest because the Artrust NTA, the high schools, the secondary schools are integral. They go into the school and when they have their student awareness as it relates to job opportunities, the BPO sector plays a very, very pivotal role. And I must say to you, this is an era in which is a good start for any young person. Because to leave school with 2 or 3 CXC subjects, you know that in most cases you can't go into college with that. You can't go to a university with that. But you can enter the BPO sector, earn yourself much more than what you would have been earning if you were sitting down at home, and build your capacity from there. So it is a good start for those who did not achieve the 5, 6, 7 subjects to move on to college and to move on to university. So I would encourage all young people who have acquired 1, 2, 3, 4 subjects and they want to make a start in life to start at the BPO. It is a steady and growing industry. And I know a lot of them that started, and a number of them now are in supervisory position, big supervisory position, taking home working and living salary. So, I mean, I must tell you, you can know when they just started working. You know, they don't look that bouncy, but after 3 months and the hairstyle change, the whole makeup change, the clothing change, and you know that they are making money and they are earning their way to prosperity.
as an iconic building, it demonstrates that we are committed to a world-class type of facility for the services that are offered here. We're also keen on moving upscale from just the normal call center type operations to more knowledge-based operations. And we believe that those jobs will be even more attractive to the graduates from our university system, as well as those that you asked about, which are those who want to work and study. Students in some of these areas, the areas that I've spoken about, law, finance, medicine, and so on, will want to have jobs that relate to the things that they are studying. And the opportunity then to be working here and going to the Western Jamaica campus or the other campuses in the region would be very attractive for them. The manager of the facility, Gloria Henry, is already has collaborations with the community center here. So there are a number of students who are workers here, employees here in the center, but who are pursuing degrees and other programs at the community center. So there is quite a symbiotic relationship between the university system and what we have here, going here at the Montego Bay Free Zone.
BPO is excellent for Montego Bay. Gives a lot of employment, has a lot of people, and is expanding very rapidly. And it will be a big future for the town. And with the bypass road coming next year, makes a huge difference to Montego Bay.
So my name is Deborah Fraser. I'm the CEO for Caribbean HR Solutions. We are an HR outsourcing company. So we support, for the most part, business process outsourcing players who are coming into Jamaica and help them to launch and to find all of their staff, to develop their HR programs, and to keep them in compliance with Jamaican labor laws. So this new building is really very, very impressive. Jamaica has been successful at attracting the top outsourcers globally, and that's responsible for providing really great quality jobs. So companies all over the world are turning to outsourcing their core and non-core activities. And Jamaica has been very, very successful at showing the world that we have bright, talented people who can work in several types of jobs, including quality analysts, workforce managers, service and sales, IT. I mean, it's amazing. So the building really does represent a lot of hard work that's gone into building this industry. So we're happy to support it.
The opening of this new building is significant. It means growth, it means development for our country, it means providing more jobs for our people. So I think this is a great move and a move in the right direction for us here in Montego Bay and by extension Jamaica.
The building is state-of-the-art, top-notch. Professor Shirley and Gloria Henry really helped Concentrix get a smooth launch in Jamaica, which to date we've built just under 500 seats on the ground floor of this building and a rapid expansion into Kingston. So kind of without the support from them, we would not have been able to expand into Kingston as fast as possible because the facility we got was in top-notch shape. So I think it's a great, great step.
Hi, it's Novia MacDonald White, Senior Associate Editor at the Jamaica Observer. And guess what? You are watching Business Access Television.
as we celebrate the 50th anniversary of Earth Day worldwide, we stand in solidarity with millions across the globe, sending a strong message against deforestation and forest degradation. As a child, I had a supernatural encounter with nature that has propelled me onto this path of becoming an environmental activist. We must stand up for our Earth against abuse, as it has withstood innumerable harsh treatment and mismanagement of resources. We stand for a change, and we stand together.
Hey guys, it's your girl Candy welcoming you to another episode of Chill Spot, where we'll be featuring your neighborhood Bashko guy, Omar Azan. So stay with us, much more after this. Hey guys, so we've just arrived at Omar's family residence, where we're about to head inside to meet everyone. But before we do, here are a few quick facts about Omar Azan. Firstly, he is the marketing and public relations manager at Bashko, the store that gives you more. He's also a musician. He plays the trumpet, percussion, and he also sings. Thirdly, he was born and raised in Barbados. So with no further ado, let's meet Omar Azan.
Hey, Candy, welcome.
Nice to finally meet you.
Welcome to my family's home.
I'm excited. So what do you have planned for us today?
Well, we're having a barbecue, and we do this pretty often. We have our barbecues, like we're always looking for an excuse. Somebody's birthday, have a barbecue. Somebody had baby, have a barbecue. The rain not falling, have a barbecue. So that's why we're here.
So we're having burgers and
hot dogs, and we have some chicken, and my mom made her amazing macaroni pie, and there's desserts.
Is she Trini?
No, my mom is actually Bajan.
Oh, okay,
right?
okay.
Macaroni pie, yes, same kind of concept. It's gonna be interesting.
All right, well, with no further ado, let's go.
So while you're here, we have food. Come. Hello.
Hi, ladies.
Candy, this is my wife Danielle.
Hi, Danielle. Nice to meet you.
And this is Heather. She
Hi,
is
Heather.
my media and events assistant. So, Asher. And this is Asher.
Hi, Asher. Hi.
You want to go down?
High five.
Give her a high five.
Please. Yes.
All right. Oh, there's Panda. Go get him. And over here, we have Aaliyah, who is my friend.
Hi, Aaliyah.
And my bodyguard. Don't tell anybody. Not anybody. And here we have Athoy, who
Hi,
is my
Athoy.
marketing assistant. And over there, on the ground, my extremely good friend and audio marketing coordinator, Andrew Thompson, and his boys.
Hi, Andrew. Hi, boys. Daddy time.
Daddy time.
Coming up, how would you encourage other young professionals who are starting out in this industry or even otherwise?
You're not going to like my answer, you know.
I'm 36. I'm a husband, a manager, and still very good looking. In 2 hours, I have the most important meeting of my life. But first, it's time to play. The new Suzuki Vitara.
Dodgen Global offers a CPA scholarship program to team members who join our team. A career in accountancy at Dodgen Global is a great choice and can offer you excellent job prospects. We believe that an accounting education is the greatest gift you can give yourself or anyone else. Few gifts make as significant an impact as the gift of an accountancy education with a job. It's a contribution that lasts a lifetime in the form of learning, opportunity, and success. Join our team and get the opportunity to be part of our CPA scholarship program. This scholarships awards program will be administered by the HR department of Dodgen Global. Requirement: first degree in accounting. Employed at Dodgen Global. Willing to pursue the CPA examination. Here's how to apply. Submit application to Staff Accountant, Dodgen Global. Email sa@dodgen.com.
We want to get into your business life. Tell me about your role as manager for marketing and PR for Bashco.
When I started at Bashco, I was in logistics and operations, and I was only asked for some help really in the marketing side, like in stages. And then in 2010, my boss moved me full-time into marketing and PR and made me the manager of that department. I really found that I had a passion for pushing the brand, and it's been a very, very interesting and a good learning experience because you start to understand the different types of shoppers, how they respond differently. And marketing for Bashco is exciting.
Right.
Because, well, the downtown firstly is your main offices in downtown. And then you have all the other, there's all the traveling involved because Bashco has 12 locations across Jamaica. When I first took over the job of marketing and PR, my goal was I wanted to make Bashco in the back of your mind all of the time when anyone is talking about, oh, I need to pick up something for my home. I wanted it to be Bashco. And, pat yourself on the back. We're there. Everybody, whether or not you make the effort to shop there because of wherever it might be or whatever, people know about the brand. And that's what I wanted to achieve. I love my team. They are the stones that build the building, that build your house. I'm not into construction. My brother would laugh at me. I probably forgot a step, right? But they're the foundation of what makes the marketing thing possible. And all the times you see me out and you see me in a photo or you see me on the internet or you see me on the TV.
They see you as a face, yeah.
Right, but it's because the team. Guys, I love you. Thank you for keeping this whole thing afloat, right?
What is it like for you working in a family-owned company? Do you find you get special treatment or do you have to work twice as hard? Which one is it?
Okay, that's a great question. And I can actually relate it to before I worked in Jamaica. The first job I had, I worked for my dad in Barbados. It's actually harder than people think.
Yeah.
The expectation is that, no man, your family, you figure it out. But what actually happens is that when people have their 9 to 5 and they go home, your phone rings. What happened today, man? What happened to so-and-so? You can't let me down.
Right.
And there's an extra level of, I guess, pressure
yeah.
but also expectation and that responsibility, and you have to own it. It has its benefits because you have a chance to sit down at someone's home and feel out their vision and feel out what they're talking about, what they're interested in, what they want to achieve, outside of the tie and long sleeve shirt setting. You don't always have that in a non-familial setting, but I think it actually has helped me because having worked for family and not for family as well in my career, you bring the best of both worlds. So I could say it's probably harder than people think. It was hard working for my dad though. That was the hardest. Because not only do you go home and think, okay, the day is done, but then your dad comes down the stairs. What are you doing today?
Yeah.
What happened to like, Dad,
Come
on,
to
5
so and
o'clock
so.
gone.
How did it go? What were the sales like?
Yeah, you know.
Omar, you seem to be so upbeat and full of energy and bubbly all the time. Is that how you naturally are?
No. No, I tell you something. Someone said to me one day, he says, I see you on TV. I see you in real life now. Clearly, you do, you make for do. I was like, yeah, this is me. This is who my family and my experiences have cultivated me to be this person. And I don't know how to not be me. Right. One of the things I tell everyone, you can accuse me of anything you want, but nobody can come to me and say, Omar, you're original. No.
You're not.
This is me.
That you are not.
This is me.
Now, we've seen Bashko with some very innovative and strategic marketing moves over the last couple of years. What do you think has contributed to their success in that?
Bashko pays attention, and that's one of the things I tell people all the time. We changed our model heavily from a wholesale model where you had to come down to the stores and you could see the stuff, but you couldn't touch it, and you'd ask for, can I get this item number please, on a piece of paper, and someone brings it out to you. Because that was what downtown and country shopping was all about. That was the wholesale concept. That's how Bashko was built originally. And we saw the shift, we noticed the shift from wholesale to retail, and that desire to have, people wanted to touch, people wanted space, people wanted to be comfortable. And the whole concept was, it was okay to not have that if you were giving somebody a deal. Bashko threw that out the window. This is about 5 years ago. We said, no, no, no. We are going to give people the best shopping experience you could expect in an environment you would never expect it.
Right.
Plus
the deal.
Plus the deal. Plus the deal. You know, so we pay attention, like I said. We have all these events catering to around me being there or other members of my team being in a store, talking to customers, listening to customers. So it's not just a suggestion box. You want to tell Omar something, Omar will be there, you can't tell me. That was one of the things we did. I wanted to be there. Before we had the Bashko parties and the Bashko limes, we had these things called Omar days, where I'd just be in a store. And people come and, Omar, I want to see some more of this plastic container. Right. Which one? Yeah. You know, and that kind of stuff. I says, boy, Omar, this is good and all, you know, but we really can't afford this. Okay, cool, no problem.
Right.
So we make a note of that, and so I take my time and I go back to the guys to do the buying. I says, this is great, we can see the sales report, and that's the thing, we do research, we do follow-up, we do checking out. So we see the sales report, this is great and all, but they're asking for it like this. Is this something we can get? I don't know, let's look into it. And then we do test runs. So it's a very good example. So we brought in this sofa or settee cover without any expectation of how well it would do. The thing flew off the shelves basically. And we found ourselves in a stock out situation, and people were always there. When are you getting back settee cover? When you're bringing in sofa cover? You love seat. And so that's the feedback you get because you want to know. And then of course with social media being what it is, we have a very, very good social media team. They're listening, they're out there, they're answering questions. They make a call. Omar, I get a question, so and so. They want to know about this and this. Okay, follow it up, get back to people. And I think that's what it really has helped. Paying attention and being willing to make the big changes to accommodate Jamaica's environment now.
What would you say has been the key contributor to Bashko's growth and success over the years?
Okay, so along with the marketing pushes we've been making, Bashko has changed and diversified the lines offered in the stores. And the biggest thing for that was the addition of grocery lines. Because you couldn't find groceries in a Bashko location. That wasn't the thing. I would say, let's try it. Let's add a bit of canned goods here, a bit of some salt, some flour, some cornmeal. And it worked. And so we said, okay, people want this stuff. And so we treat it like that. We test this, we test this, we test this. Diversify. And then also being accessible.
Right.
So, like I said, we have 12 locations. And what we have done is made sure that locations are in places that are accessible to even in smaller places. So even our Linstead branch, I like to talk about it because it's so small. The Linstead store maybe is the size of this lawn, okay? But it's there and it's a Bashko and you can find what you're looking for.
Right.
And that's because just because you're in Linstead doesn't mean necessarily you want to drive to Spanish Town to go and get your stuff. You know, so we're there. We try to be there.
What would you say has been your biggest contribution to the industry here in Jamaica?
I think businesses were doing things differently. And because we made the effort, and I made the effort to be on the ground and be talking to customers, and physically someone from quote-unquote upper level management is walking around in a store, wherever that store is. I don't care if it's in Savlamar or if it's in Santa Cruz or if it's in Mandeville, I'll be there. And people don't expect that. And what has happened is that I've personified the brand.
Right.
And that personification of the brand has changed what people look for when they're shopping. They want someone to reach out to them. They want someone to engage them. They want someone who is... So yeah, you could shop other places. When I go here, this man talked to me. Because I believe all customers are customers. I don't care if you're spending $100 and something thousand on a brand new freezer or you're coming to buy a $100 plastic container. I don't care. I see every single customer as worth it. And that's the difference we've made. And I see other businesses doing it. I see other businesses with a personality. I see other businesses having more outside broadcasts. I see other businesses doing more television commercials and trying to make really, really good quality radio advertisements.
Right.
And I think that's good. I think I'm proud of that my efforts and my team's efforts have encouraged the industry to be better at what it does.
Right. How would you encourage other young professionals who are starting out in this industry or even otherwise?
You're not going to like my answer, you know.
Let me hear it first.
Let go of the haughty pride. I have had interviews with young people coming out of the universities. I'm a university grad. I am a UE graduate. And I've met UE graduates and I've met other graduates from around the world. And a lot of the problem I see, these young professionals come out, and I'm not saying don't be proud of yourself and believe in yourself, but whether or not you are the greatest thing since sliced bread, let your potential employer discover that. Don't force them to see it. One of the things I try and preach to my team is the greatest failing you can ever make is to believe you're infallible, right? Your first step in a situation where there's something going wrong is, okay, what did I do? That's your first step, not, oh, what go on with them, or what happened to them? What did I do? What can I do better? How can I improve what I just did? Let me consult myself and see what I can do differently. Before you blame someone else for the failings of a project or a team, or cry on an organization or try to change what they're doing, see how better you can contribute to the team and to the unit. And don't expect the world to owe you anything. Put in the effort. Just put in the effort.
Omar, I don't know about you, but all this talking has got me working up an appetite. So I am ready for lunch and to experience the macaroni pie.
Yes! Oh, you won't be disappointed, I promise you. I promise you won't be disappointed.
Coming up. So I guess what I want to know from you guys is, how would you describe Omar?
I'm proud of the man that my son has become. And I believe that there is still more that he can achieve.
The Good Life, your weekly dose of information on nutrition, wellness, and fitness. Discover ways to nurture your mind, body, and spirit.
Accountants for entrepreneurs. As an entrepreneur, you should be focused on running and financing your business, not sorting your accounting systems and processes. Entrepreneurs are, by nature, dynamic people with a clear vision and a desire to get things done. The challenge for most entrepreneurs is creating a financial and accountancy culture that can keep up with them. That means finding accounting services for entrepreneurs that can provide regular financial updates, a dynamic, forward-looking approach to accounting processes, rapid access to personal and business financial statistics, fast turnaround of taxation and other accounting tasks, qualified advice on financial compliance and regulation, access to potential capital sources. Dodge & Global knows that most entrepreneurial businesses are constantly changing, with a need for accountancy support throughout the financial year, not just when a tax or VAT return is due. As such, we're here to help you make smarter and more effective decisions. For more information and to discuss your requirements with one of our experts, please contact us today. Email info@dodgen.global. Website https://dodgen.global.
This is Solomon Sharp, CEO Main Event Entertainment Group. You're watching Business Access TV, serious about business.
Nice, huh? Crunch in a hot dog.
Cheers, cheers, bigger.
Cheers, cheers.
So I guess what I want to know from you guys is how would you describe Omar?
Omar is something else. There's very complicated person.
Say nice things.
He's a practical joker. He's a businessman. He is a thinker. He's a family man. He's a father. He's a husband. He's all kinds of the kind of person that you would, be happy to call brother.
Right.
But at the same time, the kind of person that you'd slap with a 2x4 the first chance you get.
I've always wondered about Omar. He can be fun to be around. He can be very serious when he's ready. He's a very focused young man. He's actually my favorite second son.
Cheers, Pops.
Omar has, I think, a lot of the characteristics and qualities that I had when I was younger. The effervescence, the focused, purpose-driven type lifestyle, I'm very happy about is the relationship that we all have. The three of us as men in the family, we have a very close, very tight-knit relationship. And I'm very pleased about that. I thank God for that. I'm very proud. I'm proud of the man that my son has become. And I believe that there is still more that he can achieve. Both of them. Both of them.
So Omar, talk to me about your childhood. How you were raised, where you were raised, your siblings.
Okay, so this is my brother.
Only brother?
Only brother. I think if there were any more siblings or what have you, we would have had a problem, I think, with the law. I grew up surrounded by my dad's family and my mom's family in Barbados. We would travel to Jamaica very frequently. Very close-knit family, so like how you see us spending barbecues here.
Right.
Every Saturday and Sunday, we go out to family house.
Right.
We're going to the beach, we're going out by a pool, we're going by somebody's house to eat some food, we're going to the movies. And that was it. That was how you spent most of your weekends. They used to call me Mr. Energy in school. And you know that. I'd try everything. Football, I'm going to try out. Cricket, I'm going to try out. High school for me was when I was introduced to playing an instrument, playing the trumpet. And it was like a whole new world. You know what I mean? It opened up things I would never have thought possible for me. And acting as well. I did acting in high school along with music. And while everyone was off running laps around the field or going in some party or whatever, I'm in the music room. And I'm having a great time in the music room. And that was it for me. I started a jazz band, I was in school orchestra, and it just kept going and going and going from there.
So tell us about your immediate family.
Well, you've met my brother, my dad, my mom, and now, of course, wonderfully enough, is my wife who was bringing me water. Tiger out, you're out, get out. Get out, get out, bring her in. I met Daniel apparently as kids in Barbados, I don't remember. And,
I don't remember either.
I was just about to ask.
We apparently were really young, so we don't remember.
Like 8.
Oh, okay.
We re-met at a party here in Jamaica at my dad's house. Barbecue kind of thing.
Right.
This is our thing, right?
Apparently.
Funny story, so I called her and says, hey, hi, it's Omar. She's all like,
Who?
Who?
Because by this time I had forgotten, right? It's 2 months later. Yeah.
Right. And I said, hey, you want to go see a movie? She's like, what movie? I think it was Iron Man 2. She's like, no, I saw it. I said, shut down. And then I says, so maybe we can go for ice cream. And she, I like ice cream.
Yeah, I do.
And I took her out for ice cream. And then 5 months after us starting dating, we got engaged.
Okay.
We were married by our 11th month of dating. I told you she just couldn't get enough of me.
Oh.
Right? She was like, let's get married. No.
No. Yes.
No. And we were married. We were married for 3 years when we decided to have a child. And that's Asher. And it's been...
How many years now? How old is he?
He's 2. He turned 2 on July 9th.
Okay. But how many years have you been married?
We got married on May 15, 2011. See?
Which is how many years?
6 years.
There you go.
Right. All those guys who ever watch this, you want to always remember your anniversary on your wife's birthday? Set your Wi-Fi password as the dates.
Tell me more about your life in music.
like I said, I started in high school,
Right.
really. I had a jazz band, the abstract jazz band.
Right.
We used to gig, play at like national events and that kind of stuff for corporate parties, that kind of stuff. Moved to Jamaica. I joined a band out here, Black Zebra, rock, reggae, and blues. And I keep practicing trumpet and percussion, as I think I mentioned it earlier. I love music, love to play music and to perform. So I'm in a band up here now, Suzanne Couch and her band. That's exciting because she's a real Jamaican artist and her music is impressive and it really stretches you, pulls better music out of you, you know. I wrote a song for our wedding. And I actually sang it. That was the first time I wrote a song
can
to
you
sing.
sing?
I used to call her and bug her at work.
He does.
I used to call her.
Just saying the most annoying things, like on purpose. Badly, when I was in the middle of a meeting, he'd be like, honey, honey. And then he'd go,
Love you. It's easy cause you're beautiful. Just to mess with her.
That part would come right through the speakerphone. Yep.
Yeah, I do. I can sing. I don't sing as often as I play trumpet because physically it's impossible to do it at the same time.
Well, clearly.
Keyboardists can sing and guitarists can sing. Trumpeters can't also sing. Too busy, you know? But music is a very, very big part of who I am. It leads to a lot of how I do other things in my life as well.
What's next for Omar Azan?
I love my work. I love my music. I absolutely love my family. And I think what I'm going to be trying to do going forward is build a bit more of myself into a brand and maybe start a business that we can run together. Maybe another child.
Why the air quotes?
We'll see how we'll do with one.
The future for us is we're going to build what we have and turn it into something that we can grow for our family.
Well, Omar, thank you so much for sharing this beautiful day with us. I
Man.
had so much fun talking to all your friends and family, so thank you very much.
Thank you for coming. It's been nice to someone else come and see, you know, what else is Omar other than what they see on TV.
Exactly.
But thank you for coming.
Oh,
Come back
gosh.
anytime.
Well, after that food, I definitely am. And I haven't even had that yet.
Yeah. None for you guys, sorry.
We've come to the end of another episode of Chill Spot where we spent the day with Omar Azan, Marketing and Public Relations Manager at Bashco, the store that gives you more. Remember, you can check out previous episodes of Chill Spot on BATVJA.com. Until next time, I'm Candy. Bye. What would you say has been the key contributor to
Well, the back though? The back though.
Oh, shoot, recording.
Remember to tune into Chill Spot this Friday at 8 p.m. with me and Candy.
Let's meet.
Your business matters. Business Access TV offers you the most innovative and effective advertising solution for your business, specializing in B2B sales, cost-effective solutions, the customers you want, the repetition you need. No matter the size and nature of your company, your business matters.
Call us at 876-291-6233 or 876-376-4225. Email sales@batvja.com.
Take the guesswork out of improving your IT infrastructure. The field of IT changes so quickly that it can be hard to plan a strategy while keeping up with technological advancements. Yet, without a strategic roadmap built on data-driven insights, your staff can be overworked, spending excessive time putting out technical fires, instead of focusing on strategic tasks that fulfill core business needs. Our IT consulting services are the first step towards transforming your enterprise IT and improving your business efficiency. Our experts have the industry experience and best-in-class tools to methodically assess your entire support operation. We look at your IT support services holistically, identifying improvement areas that will have the greatest impact on employee productivity, service levels, and customer satisfaction. Need help improving your infrastructure uptime? Contact us to discuss a solution that will provide you greater productivity and efficiency. Email info@dodgen.global. Website https://dodgen.global.
The Jamaica Stock Exchange wishes to help to develop the social sector. To that end, they have formed the Jamaica Social Stock Exchange, which is a safe, efficient, and transparent platform that aims to promote social projects that build Jamaica and will inure to the benefit of all persons living in the country.
The Jamaica Stock Exchange is a company that encourages and mobilizes capital for the main market. And that is the market that is not the social sector. Now, the Jamaica Social Stock Exchange is really geared towards the social sector to help to solve social problems in the field of health, education, about children, environment. Those are some of the things that we consider social problems. And so it is to mobilize the capital, allow persons who have a desire to invest in a social good, to invest in the social stock exchange. It is designed in two parts. In phase one, where we look at social investment, and phase two, where we look at social impact investment. Now, in phase one, really what we are saying is it is donation. An organization will have a social issue and design it into a project or a program and invite Jamaicans or persons within the diaspora or the entire world to fund this program. Now in phase two, you're going to get a return on investment which is not social. You will be getting shares, natural shares, as you would get if you invested in the Jamaica Stock Exchange. And what you'll get is a return on capital, which is possibly dividend or an appreciation in that share. The Jamaica Social Stock Exchange does more than ask for the funding of these programs, but goes beyond that in terms of monitoring, ensuring that these programs are meeting the targets and the reason for them to have asked for funding in the first place. When we look at this new sector, it is important because holistically, if you do not look on the social sector, you do not improve the other sectors. We want to encourage all businesses in Jamaica to have a corporate social responsibility because it is good for encouraging and the growth and development of businesses.
Considering breast cancer treatments often raise concerns and questions about life. And if you're fortunate, life as a survivor. This week on The Good Life, Deborah Williams shares her journey to conquer breast cancer on a road less traveled.
Hi, I'm Deborah Williams. I'm a medical missionary and a lifestyle educator. Cancer is a systemic disease, right? It hits the entire body. It is one cell. So picture one cell in your body. We have trillions of cells in the body. And one cell goes renegade. It just goes crazy. And that one cell replicates itself. And that one cell replicates and replicates and replicates and replicates until it becomes a tumor. That tumor now needs its own blood supply. It needs its own life support. And so that tumor now bypasses your normal system and it starts to feed itself. My journey with health and wellness started in 2012 when I was diagnosed with breast cancer. I started looking through carefully in terms of the history of breast cancer, where is it coming from, what causes cancer in the first place. So when I was told by my doctor that I have cancer, I knew what to do. I knew I had caused cancer. I knew I had breached my immune system, and I knew how to reverse it.
The news was devastating to say the least, but Deborah says she was comforted by the fate she had to go against the doctor's recommendations.
So I did all the tests, the diagnosis, all of the tests, the blood tests, you name it, CT scan, all of them. And it came back saying that it's cancer. Being diagnosed with breast cancer, I was told by my doctors to do chemotherapy, cut the breast off and do radiation therapy, and then to go on hormone therapy for 5 years. And so my journey in looking at the question of what is health, what is nutrition, what can be done that can reverse cancer without going through the harmful drug path and without cutting my breast off. And so I started researching nutrition. I started reading, and I also went to the Lord in prayer to ask him what to do, because he's the creator. He made my body. And so I went into the Bible. I went also reading a book I have called Ministry of Healing by Helen G. White. It's one of my favorite books, and I use it a lot. And so the instructions were very clear in this book in terms of what to do if you are diagnosed with any lifestyle disease. So we use acronym New Start, which is nutrition, exercise, water, sunshine, temperance, air, rest, and trust in God. These are the 8 laws of health. And so I opted to go the natural route to reverse the breast cancer.
Like many, disclosing a cancer diagnosis had many different emotions from Deborah's family and friends. They were even more appalled at her approach to the illness.
At the time, my son, because I have one child, and he was about 16 going to high school. And I remember he came home the night, because he used to board at Knox. And he came home, and I called him over and I said, honey, feel this. So I took his hand and I laid his hand over the breast. The tumor was large, it was 3.5 centimeters. You could feel it just by touching. I said, put your hand here, and he touched it. And then he pulled his hand back. I said, babes, that's breast cancer. But I wanted to put it to him in a certain way that he wouldn't crumble over it, right? Because everybody's afraid of cancer, and everybody just fall apart when they hear that you have cancer. I said, babes, we're going God's way. Not cutting off the breast, no chemo radiation. We're going to beat cancer together. And he said, yes, mommy. Now, my family, everybody broke up. Everybody fell apart. Everybody fell apart. Everybody was crying. Everybody was nervous. Everybody thought I was crazy. Everybody wanted me to do chemotherapy and radiation. And so I had to make a decision that my family, they don't understand, but because my faith is strong, I have to be strong for them. So when I started doing this natural pathway, I didn't have much support from friends. In 2006, my best friend was diagnosed with multiple myeloma, that's cancer in the bone marrow. And he did chemotherapy, he did radiation, he did all the surgery, and the cancer was there, even more aggressive. And he spent millions of dollars. That didn't help him. A friend of mine also died from stomach cancer. She did the same thing. She did the chemo, she did all that. It didn't help her. I know so many persons who went that pathway, and it didn't help them. And so in 2012, having done the research, so I know what caused cancer. I've seen the conventional pathway with the chemo and radiation, and I've met many persons who went the natural way, right? And so when I was diagnosed with breast cancer, and my doctor gave me the option to cut the breast off and chemo and radiation, I thought about it and I said, but that doesn't make any sense. The success rate from the invented chemotherapy in the 1940s is less than 3%. Now, if you're doing something for so many years and your success rate is less than 3%, that's not success. So I knew that was not the pathway I was going to take. Now, I am a Christian, and I believe in God. And I believe that what he says, he means. And in the Bible, he says in Exodus 15:26, he says, I'm your healer. I am the God that healeth you. I am the God that make you. And so I went back to my God. I went back to my Creator. People say to me, boy, you're brave. I say, it's not a matter of being brave, you know. It's not just brave. It is just that I knew that the success rate of persons who have gone the natural way is great. And I know that the failure rate for persons who have done chemotherapy is high. So I chose to trust God and go the natural path. And that's what motivated me to use the natural methodology. My one friend who had multiple myeloma, he came down from Miami and he spent a week with me. And he and I did it together. So he taught me about the natural stuff that he did. We read back through the Ministry of Healing together. And then we started as a team, he and I, going through now, making the green juices and, you know, learning about how to make the vegetarian food tasty.
The Good Life will be right back.
Your business matters. Business Access TV offers you the most innovative and effective advertising solution for your business, specializing in B2B sales, cost-effective solutions, the customers you want, the repetition you need. No matter the size and nature of your company, your business matters.
Call us at 876-291-6233 or 876-376-4225. Email sales@batvja.com.
Welcome back to The Good Life. This week we are looking at Deborah Williams' story of surviving breast cancer through alternative treatments. Today she uses her experience to help others who choose to cure their ailments naturally. But what else makes her qualified to do so? She tells us.
I am a banker by profession. So I've worked with Bank of Jamaica, Citizens Bank, Workers Bank, I've gone through Scotia Bank, I've gone through the Caribbean Development Bank, I've gone through Inter-American Development Bank. I have a master's degree in finance, right? So I guess I'm a qualified banker. So where did this come from now? In 2012, when I was diagnosed with breast cancer, I closed my finance company, closed it. And I decided that I've got to learn about nutrition. And so I started doing online courses in nutrition, in anatomy, physiology, learning about herbs and how to properly use herbs, because listeners have got to understand that you can use herbs to your detriment too, you know. So you don't just go and just take herbs, you have to know how to use your herbs also. And so after doing a few informal courses on nutrition, I decided to step it up one notch further. So I decided to do my doctoral program. So I'm actually now completing my doctoral program in naturopathic medicine. So in a few months from now, I will be certified as a naturopathic doctor with an institution from Virginia called the International Institute of Original Medicine. So I am fully qualified as a trained nutritionist to give the advice I give to all of my clients. It was drastic. I must admit it was drastic, because when I went through again my book, Ministry of Healing, because I read the book, right? And it's very clear what to do. The steps are all laid out in this book. For example, I used to be a meat lover. I mean, I love chicken and I love my curry goat and my oxtail. I love meat. But when I did the research and realized that because they're putting so much chemical in the meat now, that it is becoming carcinogenic, so it's causing cancer. And so literally in one day, I went from being a meat lover to no meat at all. So in one day, I went straight into my kitchen, opened the freezer, throw away the fish, throw away the chicken, yeah? I threw it all away, the eggs, everything that tin in the garbage. And in one day, I went from being a meat eater to a straight, full vegetarian. So I went very drastic. I wasn't going to play with my life, and I know, why would I put something in my body that caused cancer? And I know it caused cancer. And here I am now being told I have stage 2B cancer. It's spread from the breast, it's already in the lymphatic system. Anything that goes into my mouth must promote health, not destroy my health. And that's why I went so drastic and so aggressive in saying, I'm going to change, I'm going to go cold turkey, and I'm going to change my diet and build back my immune system.
And that's exactly what she did. Pretty soon, the positive changes were apparent.
The first sign I saw was weight loss. Because I tried for years to lose weight and couldn't lose weight. I mean, I went on every fat diet you can think of. I have done them all. I couldn't lose the weight. But when I changed my diet and took out the processed food and I took out the meat, I lost 40 pounds. And I lost that 40 pounds in less than 8 months. And so that was what triggered it. Then I started seeing the change in my skin and the change in my hair, and that's how I felt in the morning, more energy. You know, I could do more during the day. And so my first sign in terms of this is the best way to go was actually the weight loss. And then the skin and then the hair and all of that now led me to say, this is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. I'm not going back there. And that's what I've been doing for the last 6 years. 9 months after going all natural, so 9 months after going on the New Start program, I went to Miami to do a PET scan. It's a test that shows whether or not you have cancer at the cellular level. So at the time, it wasn't available in Jamaica, so I had to go to the US. So 9 months after going on the New Start program, giving up the meat, giving up the processed food, all the thin stuff, was cleaning up my diet, going full whole food, plant-based. Within 9 months, I went and got my test done, and it came back showing that I was cancer-free. So it took 9 months. No chemotherapy, no radiation. Thank God I still have my breast, didn't cut it off. And it's now 6 years and I'm cancer-free. And that's the pathway I took.
Since being cancer-free from 2013, Deborah adds that she has never gotten sick. In fact, she says she's healthier than ever. Notwithstanding her excellent results, Deborah states that people, including friends, were still reactive than proactive in regards to their health.
Now, after the results came back showing that I was cancer-free, everybody came around. Everybody came around. But what is interesting though, is that many of my friends who saw me go through because I did a lumpectomy and took the tumor out, didn't cut the breast off. Many of my friends who were scared for me and they were asking me and begging me to do chemo radiation, many of them have come down with cancer since. And that is weird. That's the hurtful part for me. Because I've seen friends, family members who scoffed, who said it was foolishness, who said that's not the way to go. I'm now seeing many of them, one by one, family and friends, coming down with cancer. Whether it's prostate cancer, whether it's breast cancer, whether it's pancreatic cancer, whether it's tumor cancer. There's just too much cancer around me. The same people who saw me going through this, they are now coming down with cancer. Now, I believe I went ahead of them to learn, to help. Because now I do a lot of consultations, and the majority of my clients are persons who have been diagnosed with cancer, persons who have taken the breast off already, they have done chemo, they have done radiation, and the cancer has come back. So the bulk of my clients are persons who have gone through that, and the cancer has come back. And they know they're looking for another way, something outside of that. And that's how come now I am now working with hundreds of persons across the world. Because my clients are not just Jamaicans. I have clients in the US, in the UK, I have clients in Africa, I have clients across the Caribbean who have cancer or they're trying to prevent cancer. And I get the opportunity to work with them.
Though Deborah consults many sick people who are willing to try a natural approach to healing, she stresses that she is not a medical doctor and does not diagnose diseases. As such, she requires clients to work with their physicians on any existing illnesses while she educates them on the best path for optimum health through nutrition, remedial and preventative medicine. The Good Life will be right back.
Cameo takes you behind the scenes of Jamaica's exploding creative industries to give you an insider's look at how creatives get the job done.
I'm really picky about how we treat our customers.
As creative people,
We went a little bit over the top.
Each week, we interview innovators leading the charge in their industry.
The chaos of creativity meets the stricture of structure on Business Access TV's Cameo.
Welcome back to The Good Life.
We are consuming too much meat in our diet. We need about 21 grams of meat. Any average human being, right? Let's say you're about 170 pounds and you may be 5'8". About 21 grams of protein is enough. It's like one chicken leg. Look in the plate of any Jamaican. We have about 2 chicken leg and 2 chicken breasts and a wing in there. We're eating too much meat. Then we don't consume enough vegetables. So you look in the plate and you see the white rice and you see the fried chicken, dope oil, right? So our diets have become so poor. It's nutrition deficient, right? So the first thing, when we look at what is causing so much cancer in Jamaica and in the Caribbean, we have to look back at the diet. When I was growing up, because I'm 47 now, when I was growing up, we used to eat porridge at morning time before we go to school, right? You come home, your mother makes soup for you. Look at what young people are eating now. You know, young people your age group. I mean, it's just pure junk food. Everybody gone Kentucky and Burger King and patty. Nobody's cooking anymore. And so because there's an over consumption of processed food, there's an overconsumption of junk food. Yes, you're eating, but you're eating for belly full. You're not eating for nutrients. So the carbohydrates, the healthy carbohydrates, the protein, the healthy fats, the enzymes, the phytochemicals, we're not getting the vitamins and the minerals. So what you're finding, people are eating, they're stuffing, but guess what happened? The body is not being fed. So one of the main problems that we're having is the sugar and the excess meat in the diet and the processed food. That's one. The second thing is the lack of exercise. If you look at most people now, people are hardly exercising anymore. People are busy or they're just lazy. And so the exercise in the morning to exchange that carbon dioxide and get the oxygen is not being done. And so the body is building up more and more toxicity. And so the exercise, the diet, the rest, everybody's now on iPhone and iPad and this and that. 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, they're chatting on WhatsApp, they're not sleeping. Your body cannot repair if you're not asleep by 10:30 making melatonin, which is a hormone in the brain that repairs the body. And so if we go through the whole acronym New Start, remember New Start? Nutrition, exercise, water, sunshine, temperance, air, rest, and trust in God. If we do an audit of those 8 components, we can see why we have so much cancer in Jamaica and in the Caribbean. But it can be reversed, and we are reversing it. It's not just cancer, it's diabetes, hypertension, obesity, HIV, AIDS, you name it, right? People are calling high cholesterol. People are sick and they're getting sick and tired of being sick and tired. Now, if I had one advice to give my people, because I love my Jamaican people, I don't want to see my Jamaican people sick. We're not supposed to be sick. This is a beautiful country and God has blessed this country with good sunshine and we have good soil and we have good food. My advice to anyone who maybe have been diagnosed with cancer or is trying to prevent it, start looking at a whole food plant-based diet. What is that? It comes from Genesis 1:29. I would advise that they start looking at more vegetables, fruits, nuts, seed, grains. And the bulk of the food, the bulk of the meal should be composed of that, right? So it should be really looking at your vegetables, your fruits, your nuts, your seeds, your grains, and your grown provisions. If we were eating like that, so in the mornings you have your fruits, right? And you have your fruits with your grains. For lunchtime you have your vegetables, and you can have your peas and beans, and you can have your grains, or you can have your grown provision. For supper, you keep it light. So you might have a fruit plate, or you can do a vegetable smoothie. But you keep it light in the evenings. So if somebody really wanted to say, I'm going to go on this health pathway, my advice, jump on to your whole food plant-based diet. Getting your fruits, getting your vegetables, getting your ground provision, getting your grains, your seeds, and your nuts. And that will take you back on a path of filling the body with the nutrients that you need for perfect health.
With the tremendous amount of health food options in Jamaica, Deborah points out that there is no reason to be trapped in a mindset that eating healthy has to be expensive. She highlights 3 very accessible and cheap, but often overlooked food options to consider.
Tomatoes are very high in lycopene. It's very good for men with the prostate. It's very good for us overall. You can make a tomato juice or just cook with the tomatoes or eat it raw, right? That's one. The second one is the breadfruit. Breadfruit grow well in Jamaica. Breadfruit is a good, healthy starch, and it's a very good filling food. It's very high in fiber. So I would say stop walking past the breadfruit and go buy white rice. White rice doesn't have the nutritional value in there. White flour is dead food. But the breadfruit is rich in the minerals and the vitamins, and it's very high in fiber. The third one would be sweet potato. We're overlooking the health benefits of sweet potato. Sweet potato is very, very high in minerals and vitamins. It's an excellent food for your eyes and for your skin because it's high in vitamin A. So sweet potato, I bake it, I boil it, I roast it. I tell you, it's one of the food that I would tell more Jamaicans use the sweet potato. You can make your sweet potato pudding. You can make your muffins with it. You can do so many things with your sweet potato. So that would be my top 3. It would be the sweet potato, the breadfruit, and the tomatoes. Those 3. I have also written my books. So I have a recipe book that I've written to teach the persons I'm working with how to do healthy, nutritious vegetarian dishes. So this is book 2. I have a book 1. I also have a book I've written about how I overcame breast cancer using God's 8 laws of health, and the book Ministry of Healing. And most importantly, we're not leaving it out, the Bible. This is our mandate. This tells us how to be healthy, spiritually and physically. So when I combine all of this, cancer cannot touch me anymore. I'm done with cancer.
And that's it for The Good Life this week. I hope you were inspired. I'm your host, Amita Prasad Webb.
In this 1 degree, you're able to do many things.
I think the field found me.
I'd rather work with the deceased than work with the living.
Let us open your mind to careers you've never considered.
Miniature model maker.
Game technician.
Animator.
Good job. Empowerment.
Career moves.
Anywhere money is, that's where I am.
My name is Herbert Chung, Executive Chairman, Co-Founder, Honeybun 1982 Limited. You're watching Business Access TV. Serious about it.